So today we're building our first website, and we're going to use a program called Notepad, which is just a basic text editor. So if you go down to your search bar, just type Notepad. It might already appear up in here. If it does, great. Go ahead and click on Notepad. And what we're going to do is we're going to write a short poem with a title for the poem and who wrote it. So the name of poem is going to go first. And don't just type name of poem, actually name your poem. My text is there as an example for you. So we've got name of poem. Under that, we're going to put author of poem. And then for the body of the poem, it needs to have multiple paragraphs with multiple lines per paragraph. So what I mean by that is, like, think of a limerick, right? There once was a person who lived until he got brutally. Let's be nice, though. All right. All right, here we go. So it's not a poem, it's just some text. But in terms of practicing with code, this will work. So right now I have 3 paragraphs, right? Here's my first paragraph, here's my second, here's my third. So you need 6 lines minimum, and they need to either be broken up into 2 sets of 3, or if you prefer, you could have something like this where it's 3 sets of 2, along with, again, the name of the poem and the author of the poem. Once you've got this, we're going to save it. So go to File, Save As. I was actually going to, and then just name it as something. I'm going to delete that one out of the way. All right, so we're going to call this poem. And right now, this save as type is a text document. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save, and now it's saved, poem.txt. If you go down to this file Explorer, you're going to go find wherever you saved it. My guess is documents, then a new folder. I'm going to get that out of the way. If you go to view, turn on this file name extensions. A lot of times it's off, and so it just says poem. Turn that on so you can see that it's poem.txt. Now, if I'm going to go ahead, save it again, close it out. If I double click, opens it back up. Go to File, Save As, and this time we're going to change this text document to all files. And the file name, we're changing this to index.html. Okay, index.html. For the website, it needs to be named this. For the text file itself, poem.txt, hello, doesn't matter what you name this one, but for the website, index.html. And hit save. Now, when you open it up, you'll see that in your folder, there's 2. There's this index.html. Mine is set to open up in Chrome, and here's my poem. So if I open it up in Chrome, you'll see that it's just, the text is all on one line, just going straight across, even though I have enters in there. So we're going to go through and we're going to change this from the index.html, from just a regular text into HTML file. So make sure you're in the one that says index.html. And then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add all of that code that we learned about before. So we've got the doc type is HTML. We're declaring, hey, we saved it as an HTML file. Now we're telling it which kind of file this is. This is HTML5. So after I declare that it's an HTML file, I do the HTML start tag. And then all of this, I'm going to, well, we'll just move it in a minute. And then at the very bottom, eventually, we're going to have our close HTML. Inside the HTML is the head. And then I'm going to hit space twice to indent it, and then the body. And this time I'm actually going to hit enter a couple times, hit space twice, and then close my body. And then might as well just do that right now for the head as well. So the indent is because it's nested. Inside the body, that's where we're going to put all of our text. For this name of poem, first of all, we need to indent it. So twice to indent it, and then twice more. So 4 times. For the name of the poem, we're making this the largest heading, which is an H1. So slash H1, close the start tag, and at the end, angle slash H1 again. So there's the name of my poem. If I do file, save now, and then I refresh index, I can see that there's been some changes. And then if I do Windows key, left arrow, that puts my text on the left side, and then I've got my website on the right. Right now it says index.html, so we want to update that. So inside the head, we're adding that title, and put your name here. Mr. J is me, you put your own. Now right now I hit refresh, nothing happens. It's kind of a pain, but you always have to save before you refresh. And now, up in the title, Mr. J. For the author of the poem, we're going to put this with an H6. That's the smallest heading that we can do. So start tag and end tag, file, save. Or if you do keyboard shortcuts, Control S. Then if I refresh, name of the poem is now the smallest. For the body of the poem itself, we're going to put a start tag for the paragraph there. And then at the very end of that paragraph is where we're putting the end tag. And then I'm going to do that again for the second paragraph. And indent to make it pretty. File, save, refresh. It's broken down now to each paragraph is separated, but we also want the we want the new lines within the same paragraph. We don't want a separate paragraph. So where you want that line break to go, we're going to add a BR. So that BR, line break, it will force it onto a new line of code. File, save, refresh. Now I don't have an extra gap between within the paragraph itself. A way that is incorrect, a lot of times I'll see students make a single paragraph, and with that single paragraph, they'll just put 2 BRs in a row to force it to look like it's a separate paragraph. But that is not correct. So we're going to add a line of code to help make sure that it has been done correctly. So in Canvas, in our objectives, beneath the objective in the lesson, there is this link. We're going to copy that. So highlight it, Control C to copy. And then in your code, in the head, usually above the title, but it doesn't have to be. Make sure you indent in, paste that. Now see how right now there's that little asterisk before index.html? That means we haven't saved it yet. So Control S to save, And then we're going to go back over here, refresh. Oh, what happened? That's the wrong one. Here it is, refresh. And we should have some color coding in here to help you see if you did it correctly or not. Okay, so this link, we'll learn how to use those later, but it's basically connecting to this website here. And if I go there, this is CSS code, which we will learn later. And this is what's controlling colors. So if you try to do the thing where you just did the BR twice, right, so if I got rid of that paragraph, end tag, and got rid of this start tag, and then just did a BR there, and then another one, save it, refresh. See how there's not a gap? That's because this is all a single paragraph. So unfortunately, it doesn't have a whole lot of undo abilities here. There's better programs, but for now, this is what we've got. /p, save it, refresh, 2 separate paragraphs. And like I said, if whatever poem you're doing has 3 paragraphs and only 2 lines each, that's fine as well. Another thing to watch out for, oops, let me save that. So this is not nested inside a paragraph. And so it's set to be a different color as well. And that's just to visually help you see if you've got it right. So vaguely like this, text should be different, but all of the heading elements, start tags, end tags, all of that should be in there. Once you're done, you're going to have it set up like this, where you've got your doc type on the one side, or your text file on the one side, your visible website on the other with those colors included. Take a screenshot of everything. So hit print screen. Oh, I've got it set up different. So instead of print screen, do Windows key, Shift S. And that'll bring up the print screen tool. And then you click, drag, and we just want both sides, everything. All right, so I can see your website and I can see your text file. If this doesn't pop up in the corner, you might have to click on that little this little deal in the corner. From here, it's copied it to your notepad, or not your notepad. Mine just went blank. Clipboard. It's copied it to the clipboard, but it hasn't actually saved the file. So we're going to have to save this file. This is the save icon, or Control S. So file, save. It won't let it save directly to the desktop, so you'll have to pick a different folder, like Pictures works. Save that file, and then you're uploading that file to Canvas. And then that's it for this poetry assignment.